This video will cover the topic, order of operations with integers and exponents. So let's begin. In this video we'll be learning about order of operations, a fundamental rule that guides you through the correct order to evaluate a function. The order of these rules is as follows. 1. Evaluate expressions within parentheses, inward to outward. 2. Evaluate terms with exponents. 3. Multiply and divide from left to right. 4. Add and subtract, again, from left to right. If one of these steps do not apply, we skip over it and move on to the next one.
This seems like a lot to remember. How am I supposed to know if I have the proper order?
Great question. The order of operations is such an important concept in algebra, it has its own abbreviation, PEMDAS. Students also tend to use "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." The beginning of each word in that sentence is one of the steps in order of operations. As you can see to the right, we have PEMDAS listed and its abbreviations expanded.
Okay, could we do an example involving all of the steps so I can come to a better understanding?
Of course we can. Here is an example that involves all the steps, and I will leave the rules over here in the top right-hand corner as reference. Here's our first example. So our first step with this example is to evaluate the parentheses, inward to outward. And it looks like we have a few pairs, so we will begin by evaluating the outermost first. As you can see, we also have two pairs of parentheses inside the larger pair, so let's do the left pair first. Now we have subtraction and an exponent. So what comes first? Well, if we look at PEMDAS, we see the exponents come before subtraction, so we end up with 5 minus 4. Then subtraction follows, so we end up with a positive 1. So now let's deal with the other pair of parentheses. We have 3 squared minus 4 squared, which all of that is squared. Once again, we have exponents and subtraction. So if we look at the order of operations, we once again see the exponents are going to be evaluated first. Then subtraction follows. So 3 squared is going to be equal to 9, and 4 squared is going to be equal to 16. 3 times 3, and 4 times 4. So we end up with the following. 9 minus 16 squared.
Wait, what about the exponent on the outside of the parentheses? Doesn't that come before subtraction?
Good observation. However, they are on the outside of the parentheses, and in order of operations, inside the parentheses come first. So after we do the 9 minus 16, which gives us negative 7, we can then move on to the exponent on the outer parentheses. So now that we've done the subtraction, we're going to go ahead and do the exponent on the outer side. So negative 7 squared is going to give us positive 49. Now let's go ahead and condense that. Okay, we have successfully evaluated the two pairs of parentheses. So what comes next? Well, we can both see that there's a large pair of parentheses that has yet to been evaluated and encloses some operations. So let's evaluate those now. We have the operations subtraction, division, and addition. So which comes first?
Well, let's see parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So division comes first and then subtraction and addition?
Yeah, exactly. So let's evaluate the division operation first and then do the addition and subtraction operation next. 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5, so we have 1 minus 5 plus 49. Now remember, we evaluate left to right when doing subtraction or addition. 1 minus 5 is going to be negative 4, and then negative 4 plus 49 is going to give us positive 45. Okay, so now we're left with two operations, multiplication and subtraction. So again, if we look at PEMDAS, the order of operations, we see that multiplication comes before subtraction. So we're going to want to do 8 times 7 first, and then follow by subtracting 45. 8 times 7 is going to be 56, and then we follow a subtraction, so we're going to have 56 minus 45. And then 56 minus 45 will give us 11. Now 11 is going to be our final answer, because there's no operations left.
Okay, so order of operations lets us evaluate basic algebraic functions in a legitimate manner. This allows everyone to evaluate a function in a universal order, so everyone gets the same answer.
Yes, exactly.